Hey guys, it's 2016. Yes, a new year, a fresh start for everybody. But this time we're going to go back into 2015 and talk about some of my favorite movies, some of my unfavorite movies, some hidden gems, and it's my most anticipated for this year. So, thank you for joining the quest. Again, I am your host, Marques Underwood, and this video right here is going to be my top 10 best movies of 2015. You know, 2015, it's a good year in movies. It's my first time doing YouTube. It's been about 9 months now. I have 72 subscribers. Thank you all for subscribing, obviously. But we're going to get back into these movies. And these movies, a lot of smiles, a lot of laughs, a lot of moments together. Just these movies are great. But before I get to my top 10, I have my honorary mentions. Yes, I have a piece of paper here I'll be looking at, so just bear with me, but let's get to it. Here are my honorable mentions for 2015. I did not make my list, just some slightly missed it, and others, they were just in the running. So let's go. We have Spotlight, Room, Sicario, Steve Jobs, The Martian, Beast of No Nation, Me and Earl the Dying Girl, Dope, Ant-Man, Bridge of Spies, Southpaw, Avengers Age of Ultron, Straight Outta Compton, The Gift, Year 71, Experimenter, Echoes of War, Insidious Chapter 3, The Revenant, and Peanuts. Yes, those right there are a good 10 to 15 movies that did not make my list, so as you guys can see, it's pretty hard to make this list for my top 10, but let's get right to it. My 10th best / favorite movie of 2015 is The Hateful Eight. Quentin Tarantino, folks, he did a phenomenal job doing this movie. This felt like a throwback to his 90s movies, Pulp Fiction, but especially Reservoir Dogs. This movie is probably an updated version of Reservoir Dogs to me. Sam Jackson steals every scene, every moment. It doesn't really feel predictable. The dialogue is great. I just felt really engaged, and for a 3-hour movie, that's saying something. Definitely one of his best movies of all time. Check it out if you haven't. My 9th best movie of 2015 is The Stanford Prison Experiment. I did a review of this, and this was going to be number 1 on my mid-year list, but man, I saw it right after it, and this movie, it was really good. It felt like a documentary, as if I was really watching these events unfold in front of my eyes live on TV. That's how real this thing was. I felt like I was there witnessing history, and it's amazing to see how people return from being everyday citizens to doing things because they are in a position of power. And you have to think, you know, power, it gives people authority to do whatever they want. And man, do these people abuse it, and man, do these people that are victims allow themselves to become victims. So it's a great way to see how society is the way it is and why it is the way it is. You know, power is a dangerous thing, and this movie really depicted that really well. My 8th best movie of 2015 is When Money Was There. This is possibly Studio Ghibli's last film, and if it is, they went out with a bang. This is honestly the best animated film I've seen all year. I'm sorry for you guys that love Inside Out. I don't think you guys saw this movie. This movie had an amazing story about growing as a person, legacy, you know, family heritage, and just growing confidence and becoming a better person. This movie is everything I wanted in an animated movie, especially by Studio Ghibli. All the emotions were there, they were pulled. I did not see the twist, but man, was the twist great and well received. Definitely check this out if you're a fan of Spirited Away or Princess Mononoke or anything like that. Definitely check this out. Great animation, especially if you're into Japanese films. 7th best movie of 2015 is Good Night Mommy. Yes, this movie came out of nowhere. Totally a surprise in my eyes. I heard some hype about it. I wanted to see it, and man, did it deliver. This is probably the most suspenseful film of 2015. But when I saw this movie, I'm telling you, every scene, every moment, I was on the edge of my seat just waiting for something to pop out, and nothing ever did. That is a testament to the director for having some amazing, and I mean amazing suspense and thriller aspects in this movie. If you're a fan of horror movie, you'll probably love this. If you're a fan of thriller, you'll probably love this. Don't expect pop-ups or jump scares. It's not in this movie at all. That's all suspense and tension, and the best part of it is everything happens in your head. Everything you think's gonna happen, it's all in your head. My 6th best movie of the year is Kingsman: The Secret Service. Now, this movie came out in February, and this was a total surprise. You know, January and February, there were all the studios throw away all their crappy ass movies. but this one, it was a standout. And man, this was the best spy movie of the year. This was better than Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. This was better than Spectre. This was a great movie in my eyes. Definitely a standout role for Taron Egerton. I think he'll be a breakout actor soon enough. And Colin Firth did a phenomenal job. Just that church scene, man. The church scene. Just tell me that's not top 5 scenes of the year. Best part is they're making a sequel, and it's coming out in about next year or 2 years. So I'm on the lookout, guys. My 5th best movie of the year is It Follows, a movie about STDs. Well, it's done in an original way, in my eyes at least. Basically, if you have sex, you get this thing, and it follows you. And the only way you can stop it from following you is to have sex with somebody else and have that person that's following transfer to somebody else, but you never know what it is. So there is a lot of suspense in this movie as well. And I'm telling you, the scenes where you see the people and they're like, there's it, and you're just waiting and you don't know what the hell it is, because it could be anything. And that is a testament to the director too. The score in this movie was phenomenal. It reminded me of a John Carpenter type of movie, Halloween or The Thing. And man, this is a breakout role for Mika Monroe. She did a phenomenal job as the lead. She was also in last year's movie The Guest, or 2014 movies The Guest, and she was in last year's movie Echoes of War. So I expect to see more from her. I think she's doing great in the indie route. I'd like to see her do some more mainstream stuff, but man, It Follows, great movie. Check it out, the best horror movie of 2015. My 4th best movie of the year is Mad Max Fury Road. Yes, Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron in a 2-hour car chase. That's all what this movie is, and it's done phenomenally. This is probably the best action movie since The Raid 2, and definitely top 10 since The Matrix, which came out like a decade and a half ago. So this right here is a testament of how you can bring back an old franchise that started in the 70s and make a reboot / sequel in the 2010 era and make it possibly better than the original movies. I'm telling you, if Road Warrior is up there as the best in the franchise, this is either slightly above it or right underneath it. This movie was just great. A 2-hour car chase, non-stop action. It was phenomenal just to see the stunts that they were doing. You have some guy there just playing a guitar the whole time. Immortal Joe is probably one of the best villains of the whole year in my eyes. Man, just go check it out. I even had the Blu-ray. Okay, I got the Blu-ray from Target that had a little comic book because I just want to see what else was going on in that world. And that's a testament to the movie. So definitely check that out. My 3rd best movie is all about legacy. Yes, Creed. I'm a big Rocky fan, so when I found out this movie was coming out, I had to go see it. And man, I must say, this is probably the 2nd best movie in the whole franchise. This is right underneath the original for me. It followed the same themes as Rocky, but it did it with its own style and its own take. And I can really appreciate that. There's a lot of moments where you say, hey, I remember seeing that in Rocky or Rocky 4 or whatever. But then you get to have some originality mixed in with it, and I really appreciated that. The main character of Adonis, I think he was a really good character, flawed, but he was still able to be followed and still able to be likable. You understand why he was how he was. And Michael J. Jordan did a phenomenal job of bringing that character to life. And hey man, Ryan Coogler did a great job of breaking out Sylvester Stallone, which is possibly his best acting role since the original Rocky. So hey, he may win an Oscar too. So check this movie out if you're a fan of boxing or a fan of Rocky. I think you'll love this movie actually. My 2nd best movie of the year, it was a hard toss up between this one and number 1, but it's Ex Machina. Yes, the movie about AI. This was an indie movie. It came out in about April or March, and man, this movie has stuck with me ever since. This movie actually made me want to understand and read about what it means to be conscious. Because this movie, it was just a great look at how we as humans view the world and how we kind of have like a godlike syndrome in order to like create things. We live in the age of AI and we want robots and stuff to do things for us. And this movie really explores that really well. And Oscar Isaac did a phenomenal job in this movie, along with Alicia Vikander, which is her breakout role. She was in other movies this year, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and The Danish Girl, but this one really put her on the map. I'm looking forward to a whole bunch of other movies she does. And also, Domhnall Gleeson did a phenomenal job too. Just 3 people in the movie really, and they all do a great job of dialogue. And my number 1 most anticipated movie for 2015, you guys guessed it, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. When I saw Rey and Finn run when they were getting shot at, and I saw, Finn, he was like, let's use that ship. We can't use that piece of junk. Let's just use my pod. And then the pod gets shot up or whatever. And they're like, yeah, the junk will be fine. Then you rip off the cloth, and it's the fucking Millennium Falcon. Come on, guys. Come on. That alone makes this movie the best. Come on, Kylo Ren. We don't see an established bad guy. We see a bad guy in the making, and he may possibly turn out to be good by the time episode 9 comes. Who the hell knows? We get the amazing Han Solo and Chewbacca. Yes, they're back in this movie. Chewie, we're home. I'm gonna stop right there because I'm gonna start getting into a rant about this movie, but this movie, it just brought so much smiles to my life. This movie brought so many smiles to me. So many moments. I had the most fun watching any movie this year, watching Star Wars Episode 7. And that's a testament. It lived up to the fucking hype, guys. It lived up to the hype. J.J. Abrams brought Star Wars back. I understand how people in 1977 felt when they first saw Star Wars. And man, I'm ready for Episode 8. I'm ready for Episode 8. I'm also ready for Rogue One, hence another list. So guys, those were my top 10 best movies of 2015. Let me know your list. What are your top 10 best movies of 2015? Any movies that I forgot to mention? Again, I did not see every movie that came out this year, obviously, so those movies on this list are just based on things that I've seen. But comment below with your list and let me know your top 10. Let me know other movies I missed. Again, I'm your host, Marques Underwood, and join the quest.